Hello folks. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the availability related to the VMs which we have created. So let us say we have created this VM, and this VM is located on a particular server on Azure infrastructure, right? And let us say something goes wrong, okay, with respect to the server where this particular virtual machine is located, okay. Maybe some power outage or something of that sort, for example any natural disaster. So in that scenario, your virtual machine will be down. Since the server is down, so your virtual machine is down. And if you, let us say, hosted any website on that particular machine or the server, then that will also go down. So in order to basically avoid that kind of situation and make your resource or application available all the time, you need to consider certain options, availability options. So if you remember, last time when we were creating the virtual machine, we are provided with this option, right? Availability options, and therein we had two options: availability zone and availability set, right? And so my when we enable any of these two options, then Microsoft will basically distribute the created VM across multiple servers, which are in turn located in particular rack. So the idea behind is, so if we enable this, or by doing this we can enable fault tolerance. Let's say you have two VMs located on the same server. So just like a previous example, and those servers are located in a facility which, in fact, those two VMs are located on the same server, and that server is located in a facility which is either struck by a natural disaster or some server breakdown, or there is some power outage. Then what will happen? Then both of your virtual machines will go down. So if you have two fault domains, so let us say if you have uh, let us say if I choose an option. So in the uh, West US region, I have provided with only one option, which is uh, availability set. Okay, so let me choose Central US, where both the options are enabled. So Central US, and now you can see that both of the options are enabled, right? So let's select availability set. Okay, so if we create a new availability set, let us say, okay, and we will give a name like uh, uh, availability set az VM. Okay, so now this is the fault domain which I was talking about, fault domain. So if you have two fault domains, or as a matter of fact, let us say three fault domains. Okay, so if in case you have three fault domains, then that means that your VM will be distributed across different set of hardwares, and in that way you can avoid your VMs impacted by the above mentioned scenarios which I covered, right? So in this way you can make your virtual machines available with the minimum downtime, or at least nil downtime approximately. So this is the way you make your virtual machines available throughout the time, right? And then we have options like update domain. So we can have maximum of 20 update domains, right? So let us say we choose 8 update domains. That means if you are updating a particular software and you are basically deploying a patch, then every time you deploy this patch, you have maximum availability provided, right? So it won't be a thing like your patch is being deployed and something goes wrong, and then that patch is not updated properly on a specific region. So at all times you can have that update domain ready to make the seamless integration of your patches which you deploy, okay, with respect to your application. And uh, apart from this, we have another option which is availability zone. Okay, so if you enable the availability zone, then we can deploy our VM to multiple data centers with that within that specific region. Okay, so one more thing which we need to keep in mind is that by deploying our VM into availability set, or 2 or 3 different availability zone, you're not going to get the load balancing done. Okay, you have to deploy a load balancer for that purpose explicitly, so that you can distribute your traffic evenly, right? So let us say if you enable this availability zone, then you can be provided with these options. So one availability zone, or 2 availability zones or 3 availability zones. So that means you have actually in this particular scenario, if I choose 2, then that means you have 2 data centers available, wherein your virtual machines are located at these 2 different data center locations, right? So basically 2 physical buildings of where this data center is, and you will have a separate virtual machine instance available on those 2 data centers. So in case of any natural disaster or any power break, sorry, in case of any natural disaster like flood, if one building is affected by it, then the second building or the data center will provide you the availability in that case, right? So in that way you make your application available all the time, right? And there won't be any like downtime if you have your virtual machines deployed on separate locations, right? And when it comes to SLAs related to the downtime of these virtual machines or availability zones or availability set, okay, so there is a SLA associated with it, and you can find the details about the SLAs of the virtual machines here. So you can see that for virtual machines that have 2 or more instances deployed across 2 or more availability zone in the same region, then Azure guarantees you, the Microsoft guarantees you to have a virtual machine connectivity at least one to at least one instance at least 99.99% of time, right? And for virtual machines that have 2 or more instances deployed in the same availability set, they guarantee you that you will have a virtual machine connectivity to at least one instance at least 99.95% of time. And for any single virtual machine instance using your premium storage for all operating system disk or data disk, they guarantee you the virtual machine connectivity of at least 99.9%. Okay, so you can get more details if you scroll down, and you'll get details around these availability zones and availability uh, sets. Okay, guys. So, guys, this is it for this video. I will be covering the upcoming videos in the next tutorial. So keep on watching, and please hit like button or subscribe to our channel if in case you like this video. Thank you.